We've got to talk about something. Employers posting jobs like crazy, but not filling the positions. Have you noticed this trend lately? It's a topic we're discussing in my free private community on Facebook with over 18,000 members. This conversation was inspired by this post. Curious to everyone's thoughts on the idea going around on all socials that companies are posting jobs at record rates, yet they won't hire people. Have you experienced this? Applied for a job and were told you were a perfect candidate, but never moved forward or got the job. In this episode, we're diving deep into the concept of ghost jobs, why employers use them, and how you can spot them to make your job search more effective. Hey there, I'm Heather Austin, a university professor turned entrepreneur and career strategy expert. And on this channel, I turn complex job search tasks into simple, actionable strategies that you can use right away. If you're tuning in on YouTube, do me a big, huge favor. Tap the like button and subscribe to this channel for more insightful content just like this. And for our podcast listeners, a quick rating and review on your favorite podcast app would mean the world to us. And real quick, I recently created a set of essential networking templates to help you tap into the hidden job market. Inside this free resource, you'll find everything from LinkedIn connection request and email templates to recruiters to templates for reaching out to your colleagues and thought leaders about potential job opportunities. I'll include a special link for you in the description below this video and in the show notes of this episode. So what a ghost job posting is, it's considered like a fake or a phony, right, job description that gives the illusion that a company is hiring when in reality, they have no intent of filling that position, at least not right now. So there was an article published in Forbes that touches on this exact topic. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to link this article so you guys can take a look at that. I will link it in the description below this video. So this article touches on, and I'm going to break this down as to why companies are using this, but it touches on a survey of over 1,000 hiring managers, and 68% of these hired managers had admitted to posting jobs and leaving them open for longer than 30 days. And then of those, there was a percentage of those folks that said that they have job openings that have been open for more than 6 months. So here's what we believe based on research and data. And of course, this article goes into more detail. Why are companies using these job postings, right? Number one, they want to maintain a database of candidates, right? So we know that they're kind of developing a pipeline for future hiring needs. Let's say someone leaves the company, or let's say they have positions that have a high turnover. In fact, I was meeting with a client via email and she had told me, hey, this company that I'm interviewing with, that they just offered me a position, I'm finding out that they have a high turnover. And so she's like, I'm declining this offer because I do not want to get myself into a position where I am now considering, do I even want to work here in 2 to 3 months? And she was able to spot quite a few red flags. But again, that's one of the reasons why companies are using ghost job postings, is to maintain a database of clients. The other thing is to give off the impression that they are growing and thriving, right? Like, hey, we're doing great. We're hiring for all these positions, but really are they? Okay. The next one is to collect data for market research. So some people may argue, hey, companies don't have time to do this. And there are some companies that don't, and some companies that do not post these. But we have seen an influx in these postings over the last couple years, over the last couple months. So I'm going to show you how to spot them in a second. But when they're going to collect data for market research, they're collecting your information. They're collecting what types of skills are needed for this position, what type of education is needed for this position, what can we pay someone, because they're asking for your salary requirements, right? Now, is this good? Is this bad? I mean, it's subjective. We could probably talk about this a lot more, but just know that some of these postings are collecting data so that they can make better hiring decisions in the future. And then, of course, the other reason stated in the Forbes article is to keep current employees motivated, which I do not agree with this at all. I think there's a lot better way to motivate candidates or employees or people that work with the company. And if I were to work with the company that was doing this, I would probably start second guessing my relationship with that company and if I really wanted to be there. So 5 smart questions that will help you spot these job postings, whether we call them ghost, fake, phony, phantom, verbatim, whatever we call this, right? 5 questions that I want you to ask yourself when you come upon a job posting. So I want you to look at, when was the job posted? If it was posted more than a month ago or a month and a half ago or something longer than that, chances are I would probably move on from that, right? The more recent the position, the better. In fact, I would argue to say, if you see a job posting pop up, if it's been posted in the last couple of days, I would apply for it immediately. Now, I'm going to give you some simple strategies in a second that make this whole process so much easier. But take a look at when the job post was made. The other thing I want you to look at is the job listed on the company website? So a lot of times you'll have LinkedIn and Indeed and some of these other job boards, right? Where companies will keep those positions up on those job boards and they can just keep refreshing them, change the expiration date, so on and so forth. Make sure you cross-reference. And this isn't always going to save your butt when it comes to this, right? But it will help. Make sure you cross-reference. Is the position on this job board, is it also on their company website? So double check that as well. And then if it is, you can go ahead and apply for it, right? Now, I also want you to ask, how detailed is the job description, right? So we know that really well-written job descriptions will have qualifications. It will have responsibilities of the role. It will list some great information. A big red flag for you is if it is general, if they're mentioning a lot of perks to encourage candidates to apply. So keep that in mind. You really need to evaluate that job description. The other question I want you to ask yourself is, what is the company's reputation? So this is where you do need to do some research on the company. Take a look at their recent press. What press coverage have they had? What's happening on their social media channels? Make sure that they haven't just gone through a big round of layoffs or that they're on a hiring freeze. If a company is either going through a round of layoffs or on a hiring freeze, that should be a big red flag for you that either I'm not going to apply for this job or this is a ghost job posting. The other thing I want you to ask yourself is, have you contacted the company directly? Do not be afraid to do this. If you find your unicorn role and you're like, oh, this position is perfect, but maybe it has been listed for 30 days and maybe you're not finding that it's on their company website, don't be afraid to contact the company directly and ask them if they are still hiring for this position. You can use LinkedIn to reach out to recruiters and hiring managers. You'll get some information. If the post is filled, you're like, great, I just saved myself all that time, because we know that one job application, especially if it is for your unicorn role, that can take a little bit more time than planned, right? And if you're going to invest your time in them, we want them to invest their time in you. Quick question for you. What red flags have you seen recently in job postings? Comment below this video or DM me on LinkedIn to let me know you made it this far in the episode. And remember to use the link below this video or in the show notes of this episode to grab your essential networking templates for job seekers to help you tap into the hidden job market. And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're on YouTube, or to this podcast if you're a podcast listener. And take just a few minutes to leave us a rating and review. And I'll see you in the next episode.